The only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Yes, indeed. Westside Decorating Center, 5789 State Street in Saginaw, with a newly expanded showroom and expanded product lines, and also a brand new magazine that you can pick up there. Stop in today to Westside Decorating Center. Open phones later on in this hour and next hour, but we're going to start out this hour talking about the flu and how we're doing at preventing it. How contagious is it? And we're going to do that with someone who spends his time worrying about those things. He's a senior vice president of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. And we say good morning to Dr. James Grant. Dr. Grant, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
Good to see you.
You too. How are you?
We're doing all right.
Good.
Healthy. My doctor tells me I'm healthy. I can't ask for any more than that. You'll appreciate this. He told me, I'm 80 years old. He told me, well, you're as healthy as a 45-year-old. I'd sell you insurance tomorrow. But he says, of course, you can walk out of here and drop dead. You know that, don't you? I said, yeah, I understand that.
That's encouraging.
Yeah, it's very encouraging. Yeah, he's a nice guy. Let's talk a little bit about the flu. And I want to talk about flu vaccines, too. Let's start there. How well have we done in creating a flu vaccine this year to prevent the outbreak of whatever flu we get this year?
Well, we don't really know that until the flu season, solidly hits. So we can usually assess that in April. We have to do that sort of in retrospect. So we have to see what the numbers are. So that's every year. That's not just this year in particular. Some years we're spot on. Some years it's a little bit of a miss. But remember, we've got hundreds of research scientists working on this all year to try to figure out what the strain for the next season is going to be.
It's a guessing game.
I don't want to call it a guessing game. It's an educated guessing game.
Okay. Given the technology we have today and the experience we have in building these vaccines, could we not, at the very beginning of a flu season, see what strains there are and adjust the vaccine accordingly? Or does it take too long?
Art, that's a good question. I think the first time I've ever been asked that question. My suspicion would be a couple things. One, if we started seeing what the strain was and seeing if the vaccine was missing it, I think by the time you developed a vaccine and got it out to the general population, you'd probably be on a new variant.
So what are you expecting this year? And let's talk about the contagious side of it.
We're expecting what we see every season, expecting to hopefully be pretty as close to spot on as we can. What we're worried about actually this season is making sure people get their vaccines. I mean, we have been so vaccinated out over the past few years, and we've added vaccines, not only COVID, but now we added, RSV vaccines to those that are immunocompromised and those over 60. So we have a lot of vaccines on the horizon. And I think that alone, you used to be one flu vaccine, you were done, but now we got a bunch.
Okay, I went the other day, maybe 3-4 weeks ago, and I got my 5th COVID booster and my flu. Same time, 2 patches.
Yep.
What did I miss with the RSV, and what is it?
RSV is another virus. It can affect anybody, but it really can affect infants, and it can really affect the those over 60. That's why a lot of the recommendation are those that are over 60 get that vaccine too.
Well, what is it? And
it's another virus. It's very similar to influenza and COVID. It's a respiratory. It stands for respiratory syncytial virus.
Oh, I'm glad I asked. It's respiratory. It's breathing.
Yeah, it's a breathing virus.
All right. So let's talk about prevention. We've got all these virus strains out there. We don't know which ones we're going to get. We can get the vaccine, but is there a more efficient way to prevent getting the flu?
It's just like it's always been. What do you want to do? You want to continue to wash your hands. You want to wash your hands well. You want to wash them for at least 20 seconds with some good soap and some aggressive back and forth. Create some friction.
Can I stop you there?
Good.
Can you explain to everybody? We hear it all the time. Can you explain to everybody why washing hands is so important?
Believe it or not, it will kill the virus and it will kill the spread of the virus. You've got virus in your hand. Sometimes you sneeze in your hand, or you go and you shake someone's hand who did something or has the virus in their hand, and they go and they go and they go and they go, and before you know it, you've infected half of America. Hand washing, we have all sorts of various ways of preventing viruses, but believe it or not, good old soap and water is still the best.
So you want to wash your hands, you want to do it for at least 20 seconds.
20 seconds, and do it hard, really aggressive, and dry it really hard too.
Yeah, I've always wondered, because we hear it all the time, and I've never had anybody effectively, as you just did, explain why we should do it.
Yeah, that friction that you have when you're actually wiping them together, that really helps kill the viruses. That's why we say, well, someone will say, well, I have a bottle of hand sanitizer on all the desks in my house, everywhere in my office. Those are better than nothing, but they're still not quite as good as just plain old hand washing.
Really, I mean, the whatever they call those hand solutions, they don't kill everything.
Not like washing your hands. They're good. I don't want you to not use them thinking they're not good. They're good. But actually, if you use the hand washing solutions and washing your hands, you've checked all the boxes.
So how about interaction with other people? I mean, during COVID, we were separated, we were locked down and all that stuff. How do we conduct ourselves during flu season?
You know what? No differently. We have to get back to life as we knew it. And but the thing is, if you're sick, or if you think you're getting sick, and you're going in to see your 82-year-old mother, and you've got this quote, you may have allergies. That's always the first thing when you think you're sick. Oh, no, I'm not sick. I've got allergies. Wear a mask. Wear a mask. If you're sick and have a fever and you're supposed to go to work, stay home if you can. Be considerate of others, recognizing, because once you give it to one person, they give it to one person, they give it to one person, half the county's sick.
Just out of curiosity, because of COVID, we did a lot of work from home.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't interact as much with people. Now that COVID has passed, at least for its, really big portion of it is passed, and a lot of people have gone back to work, would it be reasonable to expect we're going to see an increase in flu, for example?
You think so? If you're going to see people back in the office in closed quarters, not quite so sure yet, but the numbers will be out there. We'll see shortly. We won't see an increase, Art. We'll see an increase from when people were staying home, possibly, but we're not going to see an increase from, let's say, 2019.
Yeah. All right. And this is also true of students in school?
Of course. Anywhere where there's people in close proximity. So you say, why do we pay attention to it in fall and winter? Is there something about the seasons as opposed to summer and spring that you'd get the flu? No, the reason really is for fall and winter is because what do you do in the fall and winter? You don't do a lot of outdoor activities. You sit inside a lot, right? And when you sit inside a lot in closed areas where you can't spread the virus, things, you don't have that open environment, that's when you tend to give it to people.
It's interesting, too. At the same time, you say to yourself, you would think this cold weather would kill whatever I've got. Not happening, huh?
Not happening. Not happening.
Oh, well. Is there a website that people can go to for more information?
Michigan, MI Blues, for Michigan, MichiganBluesPerspectives.com.
Okay.
That's what you need there.
And vaccines are covered by insurance.
Vaccines are covered by insurance. And what I want you to do is you can get vaccines so often at your primary care doctor's office. You can get vaccines at so many pharmacies. You can get vaccines at health departments. You know what? It takes 5 minutes. Go get it. And that 5 minutes will be well worth it.
And we should now add RSV to our complement of vaccines. Is that what you're saying?
Well, the for sure ones are the flu and the COVID.
Yeah.
And the RSV is if you have the risk factors for it.
And let me ask about one more before I let you go when it comes to vaccines. We often hear about the shingles vaccine.
Uh-huh.
But for years, depending on your insurance, you went in to get a shingles vaccine. First of all, it was 2 vaccines, and they were very expensive.
Yeah, they're
How
covered.
important are they?
I can't speak for every plan. I know with us, I know they're covered. That's important. Shingles vaccines. You're right, Art. You need it. You need it over everyone over age 50 needs to get the shingles vaccine because it's. I will not mislead you. The shingles vaccine has some side effects, but the side effects, and not everyone gets the side effects. The side effects last a day or two, but getting shingles can last a lifetime.
Oh, I thought shingles was like a 30-day thing.
The virus itself, but some of the after effects can last forever.
All right. Well, Dr. Grant, as always, privileged to talk to you.
You too, Art. Have a great day, and please stay warm.
Yeah, we're going to try. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Bye now.
Bye.
Dr. James Grant from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. We thank him for joining us. We'll take a break, come back. We'll have open phones after that.
Okay. Thanks, Art. Have a great one.
Winter is coming, and at Treetops Resort, it's a season packed with excitement. Join us for endless fun in the snow, from exhilarating skiing and snowboarding to extreme tubing, all in one great location.